Good afternoon, everybody. Happy October 11th. It is Tuesday. Welcome to our Mastering the Charts showcase. So excited to have you guys here for us today. Just want to give you a glimpse into exactly what we do in Mastering the Charts, which is our 3-day event coming up. Going to give you a glimpse into that, exactly how you guys can train your eyes to better read the price charts, finding those high probability buy and sell opportunities in the markets. That's going to be huge now because these markets have been extremely volatile over the past few weeks. We've been seeing these big swings in the market, these big drops. So being able to maneuver those price movements and understand why price changes direction is huge. So can't give you all that detail today in 90 minutes, but just going to give you, that showcase as far as what we look at and that key information that we use to find those high probability turning points in the markets. So as Jeff mentioned before, feel free to type in the chat if you have any questions at all. We're going to be monitoring that chat when we're both speaking. So feel free to ask as many questions as you'd like. We'd like this to be interactive and engaging for you guys as well. So extremely excited. Hope you guys got your coffee, got some pen and paper so you can take notes, but going to give you a lot of great information for you guys today. If you've taken Mastering the Charts before, we've made some enhancements and improvements to it that we're really excited to share with you guys today. So let's jump right into it. Well, couple disclosures and then we'll jump right into it. So the information contained within should not be construed as a recommendation or an offer to buy or sell any security or financial instrument solely for educational, informational purposes only. What we're here to do today is really just give you that clarity and understanding of how we'll train your eyes to read the price charts, have again, a clear understanding of why price changes direction. And then the beauty of that is that you can use that for any asset class. What we teach is an asset class specific. You can use it for futures. You can use it for stocks, for Forex. It applies to everything. So we're going to be showing you guys that today as well. So welcome to our event, Mastering the Charts. Thank you for joining us. The purpose of this event is to enlighten you to a new way of trading and looking at the price charts. What we mean by that is that it's not about indicators on the price charts. It's not about making it complicated, which a lot of people do, unfortunately, but it's about simplifying it and boiling it down to price action. All that is going to be a very specific picture on the price charts that will train your eyes in the Mastering the Charts event. Once you see what that picture looks like, it's going to open your eyes to finding where there's those imbalances of orders. So that's going to be huge. We got to look at that information. What's on the left-hand side of the chart that shows where there may be leftover orders behind from the banks and institutions? That can be a huge advantage for us looking to trade the right-hand side of the chart and finding where to buy and sell at. So overall, this is going to be a picture of what we'll dive into in that 3-day course. But overall, it's all about pictures. It's looking for where we have those imbalances of orders. And once we train our eyes to see these pictures, it can make things that much clearer for us. So who we are and why we're different. We, Jeff and I, as the Elite Trade, focus on price action to identify those key turning points in the markets. So price action, just very simple. A lot of you have seen my charts before and Jeff's, and we don't have a whole lot of noise on them. Keep it very simple, looking at price, and that's going to give us, the biggest advantage for being able to find those turning points in the markets. Again, regardless of what asset class you trade and what time frames you look at. So whether you're someone who trades everything, or if you just trade futures, maybe you're just a stock trader, you only like Forex, it applies to everything because of the fact that it boils down to price action. Also does not matter what time frames you look at, which is great as well. You may be a swing trader looking at the higher time frames. You may be someone who likes the tick charts or looking down on the 1 minute, 2 minute time frames. But ultimately, again, it's all about a picture on a price chart, not about what asset class you trade, what time frame. That is very just open to your preference. We're here to train your eyes to read the price charts and find those turning points in the markets. So ultimately, it's all about the picture on the price charts. Here's one example where we're putting all the pieces together for you, showing where we would have had a desired long trade opportunity. For example, here, I would have loved to take this long trade here and get this big move up on, looks like TRV. Now, the key thing that a lot of people don't do is look at the information to the left-hand side of the chart. So that's where we're going to find all that information. We're seeing where there's, that battle between where there's buy orders and where there's sell orders, looking at that picture on the price charts. Once we understand what that picture is, we can have some greater clarity in trading the right-hand side of the chart. So our vision as the elite trade, especially in these volatile market conditions, which again, we've seen several weeks now, big price swings in the markets, we want to give you guys a clear understanding of how to read the price charts. That doesn't mean overcomplicating, it means simplifying and breaking it down for you guys as far as what we look at and how to understand and process that. So our focus in mastering the charts is being able to simplify the complexities of trading by one, looking left and why we look left. Maybe a foreign concept to some of you guys, but the importance of looking left is where we find a lot of that key information. So we're not going to see it on the right-hand side of the chart. That's where we're looking for those trade opportunities. But by looking left, when we see what price has done historically, and we track that and we document it and see what's happened, that can help us better predict the right-hand side of the chart. Also by visualizing support and resistance. For me, this was huge because using support and resistance helped get me really in the right area as far as where I was looking for those buy and sell opportunities. When we're looking at support areas, we're looking for sell opportunities above those support areas. Resistance areas, we're looking for long opportunities below those areas. So this is going to be a key thing that we look at, first looking left, and then also starting to get an idea of what those structures are and those pictures are. Identifying where price changes direction and why. So this is huge as well. So we need to identify where price changes direction and why, because this is where there's that imbalance of orders. When you can read the price charts more clearly, we can anticipate where there may be some unfilled orders by the banks and institutions. When you think about it, the banks and institutions have these very large orders that they're trying to get filled. If they don't have all those orders filled up, they're going to have some leftover orders that they need to get filled at a later date. So when price returns to these areas, that's where we look for our trade opportunities. Also understanding the importance of adjusting timeframes. So this is a big one as well, as far as just being flexible to seeing the picture that we're talking about on the price charts. Can't be stuck on one time frame. We need to be, open to looking at a bunch of different time frames to be able to see exactly what that picture on the price chart looks like. It's like turning a dial up or turning a dial down until you see what that picture looks like more clearly. Ultimately, we want to be able to identify where to buy and where to sell. By going through this process and visualizing those price patterns can give us that advantage for finding those turning points in the markets. So trading micro futures in these volatile times, for Jeff and I, we wanted to make this very pertinent to what's going on today, not the market conditions a while back when things were great, the markets were moving higher, but we've been seeing a lot of that additional volatility in the markets, seeing more downtrending price patterns. So, for us, incorporating micro futures is a great way to manage our risk more closely. This is something we're going to be doing a deeper dive in the Mastering the Charts course. So micro futures, it's the same thing as trading regular futures contracts, but you're using less capital, which can reduce the risk on each trade. So again, we think of volatility, we think of these big whipsaw price actions. Just one thing that we're going to go into is, again, how trading micros can be a better way to manage your risk closely while still partaking in some of these trade setups. By trading micro futures, a trader can significantly improve their skills for trading regular futures contracts. So you think about it, if you can, become skilled at trading the micro futures, then you can more easily navigate into the regular futures contracts, all about honing in on that skill set of looking for the price patterns and, really getting that skill set down by trading the micros first and then moving up to the regular futures contracts. So seek new opportunities in the futures markets, again, with greater flexibility. You can do multiple contracts as well, since you're using less capital. A lot of these different benefits will go into more detail in the course. But just one of the things where we're trying to think of the best things, with the markets and how they are now, how we can take advantage of what's going on and become smarter traders. So how we'll maneuver the market volatility, conducting a pre-market routine Monday morning to better assess the volatility and the market conditions. So mastering the charts is going to be Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. We've created that strategically so that Monday morning is going to be all about trading in the live markets, implementing what you guys learn on Saturday and Sunday, and then seeing those results pan out on Monday in the live markets. So we teach, we show, and then you see how it's implemented Monday morning. Being able to identify trending trades versus counter trend trades. So I'm big on taking trending trades versus counter trend, just looking for those momentum moves. Staying with the trend is one way to stack the odds in your favor. Also gain a deeper understanding with news announcements, earnings reports, and key indicators. Just a few other things that we want to keep an eye on to, just understand the market environment, the volatility in the markets, and be prepared for the trading day. So seeing it in action, the next couple slides, keep in mind, are from today. So we're keeping it very much relevant to what's going on today. Everything you're seeing here is from the past couple months at most. So keep that in mind, that what we're showing you is real life examples of what we do in the live trading room, in the recap sessions, in the Discord group, all these different trade setups. Just want to emphasize for you guys. So this one, British pound, you'll notice on the left-hand side, it's got the profits and losses. Profits in this case, British pound, looking for that breakout to the upside. Successful trade setup and made some nice profit on that one. So a lot of these are going to be Jeff, so shout out to him for finding these setups, but it become more easier to find them once you know how to read the price charts. Canadian dollar was one that we did in our Discord group session that was posted there. So if you're not part of a community, Discord group session's huge because that's where all our traders can come together and be able to share their trades, ideas, and setups as they're panning out throughout the day. So Canadian dollar, looking for that break trade to the downside. Really great drop on this one. You'll see on the left-hand side, the profits going up as we're getting that breakout trade to the downside. Again, it's all about that picture on the price charts that we were looking at the origin of that move to take advantage of that strong drop to the downside. So keep that in mind. The goal of mastering the charts is for you guys to be able to see those pictures to then take advantage of these key moves in the markets today. Here's another one on crude oil, looking for that move to the downside. Again, all of these trades from today's session. S&P, if you were in the recap session today, you would have seen this one that hit prep zone that we provide in the live trading room. Each day, we do it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. That zone, an amazing hit off of that. I think some of you guys got that trade set up from our prep screen. Great short trade opportunity that I'm going to be showing you guys a little bit later. So another one on gold, again, looking for that breakout move, but all about all these trade opportunities, it's boiling down to price and that picture on the price charts. Once you can see that, that's going to make things so much clearer. Even for me, having tutored students one-on-one before, once they learn how to read what that picture looks like and understand why price changes direction, it makes things so much clearer and their confidence increases significantly. So that's what we're trying to get you guys to see as well. So we also provide a prep screen each morning in the live trading room, as well as a recap screen. So all of these are designed to better assist you that once our sessions end, you guys can still keep a pulse on the markets and what's going on. Again, this is going to be happening in Monday's class. So Saturday, Sunday is going to be more teaching, preparing you guys for the market open on Monday. And then Monday, we'll be putting all this together. You're going to have a much better understanding as far as why we're choosing these long and short trade opportunities and how to put all those pieces together. Separately, we can't, do much with it. You may know support and resistance, or you may know like base, but our goal is really to put all those pieces together for you so you can understand the bigger picture and find where those high probability setups are at. So experience live trading room, as I mentioned, on Monday, again, with that recap screen. Even with these choppy market conditions, you can see here's a setup on NASDAQ from a little over a month ago. choppy market conditions, but we're still finding those long trade setups, those short trade setups, and we're giving all of this to you guys on our prep and recap screens. So how we train your eyes, we're going to teach you what a past picture perfect trade setup looks like. So in the Mastering the Charts course, we're going to be looking for our own and signature, no one else does this, leg base group of candles, support and resistance, buy territories and sell territories, structures. All these different things are going to be critical in being able to read the price charts more clearly. And I love this, one of my favorites is how we teach and how we connect with our students more. So learning reinforcement with quizzes, examples, and Q&A. It's not just a 3-day course and you guys leave. You guys get a month of follow-up with us. You get Tuesday, Wednesday recap sessions, as well as Thursday, Friday Discord group sessions. Going to be talking about that later. But the point is that we want to stay with you guys and make sure you're on the right path with your trading education. So all about looking for very specific pictures that we can verify on the price charts with step-by-step processes, making these interactive. So again, love that you guys are typing in the chat. I think Jeff's on top of those questions in there. We want to know what you think, as it matters as far as us being able to teach you and answer your questions and simplifying it. So it's all about breaking it down, making it very simple or as simple as we can, and make it less confusing for you guys to learn. All right, so the next part is understanding filled versus unfilled orders. I'm going to pass it over to Jeff for this part. This is going to be your foundation as far as understanding why price changes direction. So make sure you're taking notes on this. It's going to be a great section. Thank you, guys. It's all yours, Jeff.
All right, welcome everybody. All right, so now we're going to dive into a little bit of the meat. What is it that we really teach? How do we train the eyes? How do we put things together for you? Okay. In order to do a lot of that and really dive into why price changes direction, we have to get an understanding of why does price change direction? And when we see peaks and valleys, as you see in these on the price chart, you got a peak, you got a valley, you got all these little zigzags, red candles, green candles, But all of this information on the chart is just an order or group of orders being processed. Sometimes these are bound by time. In this chart, in this example, each candle is bound by 480 minutes, about a 6-hour chart, or 6-hour bar, okay? And during that time, you have the open, you have the high, you have the low, the close of that particular candle, okay? Now, all that's really going on behind the scenes at any time the market changes direction is there's orders being processed. And when there's a peak up here, or using this peak, for example, where we have the red arrow, there were more sell tickets than buy tickets. That's it, okay? And then down at the bottom, there were more buy tickets than sell tickets. So if you want to visualize this, it's just a large stack of orders everywhere, okay? And when price gets to a certain point where there are no more sell tickets at that price level, but only buy tickets, we see price change direction very quickly. And in seeing how fast price leaves that area and some other information to the left-hand side of the chart, we can then determine it's possible that they didn't get all their orders filled. See, our approach is unique in a way that we are looking for where banks and institutions are moving money around. It's really a stock or a futures product or Forex. It's just where traders are, or bigger players are making money, and they leave these footprints around. And we use that piece of information on the price chart to help us determine if the risk is okay for our trading account and our purpose for trading. And then we focus on the reward by looking for the opposing zone there, or the opposing stack of orders. Now, in this picture right here, this is a little more complex sometimes to think about this, because we always want that drama. Why did price change direction? Well, if you just say there was more buy tickets and sell tickets, it's kind of boring, isn't it? But it's not really when it equates to a trade and managing risk. For example, the information here on this chart, as we're watching it, there was an initial large stack of orders of sell tickets that were taking place. Now, how do we know there were sell tickets? And how do we know that there were some left over? Well, the proof is right here, okay? There were more sell tickets than buy tickets, and price left that area very quickly. There were just no more buyers, okay? So what price had to do was drop very quickly until it found a large stack of buyers. Now, you may have heard the term algorithms and computerized trading. Okay, now a lot of that does take place on the exchange, where the market makers and specialists and institutions use these algorithms to process orders. Now, when price leaves it, it stops buying, okay, and price naturally comes up and so on. So these algorithms are to help the floor traders, market makers, and specialists process orders. That's it, okay? They're not trying to out-trade us, outmaneuver us. All they want to do is get their order filled for the people that they work for, okay? So when they had an initial stack of buy orders down here, okay, there were more buy orders placed here, and price left that area. It kind of went sideways. Once price came back down to that initial area where that order started, okay, we see the price found the rest of the buy orders and then took off, okay? As it went up, it found the rest of the sell orders that were left over. And these are turning points on the price chart that we're looking and we do exploit in the live markets. Now, the purpose of our live trading room is to reinforce the learning of the method and the approach that we teach you here at the Elite Trade. So let's jump in and I'm going to give you a kind of a brief example and some examples of this. And I'm also going to give you a process tonight to where you can verify some of this information. And it's so critical if you're going to put your time and your money into us for 3 days and a month of follow-up and even more if you'd like in the Discord room. And our Discord room is becoming very active. In fact, the trade that Caitlin posted up there talking about the Canadian dollar. This was really amazing because it was like step by step. Okay, we're in, here it goes, here it goes, it goes. It's like 15 minutes and all of a sudden we walk away with $305. Not a bad deal. Just one contract. Imagine if you were doing 10 or more. Be a nice little couple of days. And if there's any questions, oh, this is very different, Daniel. The question was, is this very different from where you used to teach? And yes, it carries some things. If you attended one of the classes that I taught there called Training the Eyes, okay, then just send us an email, let us know you did that, and we have a lot of new enhancements here. It's pretty awesome, okay? Yeah, working with Caitlin, we have come together to put a lot more visualization and also proving in the live markets by taking trades and with our live accounts in them. So I'm going to briefly go into what I want you guys to look for when you're starting to look for a place to take a trade on the chart. Now, the zone is part of this, and this is where I'm going with using structures, area, and then our leg-based group of candles. Okay. Now, the leg-based group of candles is that group of candles that we look at where we place a line on top and a line on bottom here to help us see the range we anticipate price to come back into. Okay. So let's give you a little bit background. This group of candles is very specific. And it's so detailed. Even a computer could replicate this. Colors matter on this. In a sell zone, we have a leg in, which is green, base candles, leg out, which is red, and another base candle. That second base candle is important. Now, just a little deeper into this, because I'll be showing you some examples and we'll be pulling some up, is that I can have between 1 and 5 of these base candles between a leg in and a leg out. And I can have up to 4 leg out candles. The first base candle after the leg out is where we would put our entry line, and our stop line would go at the highest wick or tail or shadow at the above the leg in, base, leg out. So we look for these group of candles inside where we see a buy territory, and using structures, support and well, we start off using support and resistance. We then identify our buy territory and sell territory. We then get into the structure within that buy or sell territory to help us pinpoint the area to where to tune in to look for these group of candles. Now, the sell zone or supply, if you'd like, the leg in must always be green and the leg out must be red. For the buy zone, the leg in must always be red and the leg out must always be green. Inside or in between the leg in and the leg out, base candles only. Now, a base candle is, in our book, is a candle where the body is less than 50% of the range. So you're going to have these long tails on the other side of it, okay? The first base candle's body after the leg out is where we put our entry line, and our stop line goes to the lowest wick of the leg in, base, and leg out, okay? So what this looks like, and what I mentioned here, using the support or resistance area in this case. So we have a nice little resistance. Below the resistance, we have this area, which is our buy territory, okay? And you can see that we've already traced out the zigzags within the buy territory. Now, just a subtle hint here. If I make a higher low than the prior low, very often the leg base group of candles is located closer to where price breaks out. Now, the breakout trade for somebody who's a little more aggressive, a little more assertive with the market conditions and a good understanding of it, the breakout trade is also a valid trade setup, okay? And it provides additional opportunities for the short-term momentum trader, if you like that style of trading. All of this information is gathered. Once that information is in place with the leg-based group of candles, we often see that price comes back to that area and changes direction. Now, as Caitlin mentioned before, it's the picture on the price chart. It's not about a time frame. So I may have to turn the time frame up or turn the time frame down, more on that later, in order to isolate that group of candles and get the exact picture. And the exact picture is very important, and it gets you on the road to having a discipline and a focus on trading. Now, many people say, I got a trading plan, but then when they start explaining it, there's just too many variables, and it's kind of wishy-washy. It becomes their own art manifestation. Okay, so at the Elite Trade, we are very specific, very rule-based, and very detailed, and we demonstrate that in the live market. All right, let's go. So then again, just on the short side of things, notice all the detail. A support, above support would be our sell territory. The zigzag plotted out, making a lower high. We would then look for our leg-based group of candles closer to the breakout. And here again, price came back up to the area. Now, by now, you're seeing that that group of candles, that leg-based group of candles that I just showed you there, it is present when price changes direction. So what we're always looking for on the price chart is confirmation of something. We get that confirmation and we start learning more details when we verify a picture perfect past trade. Okay. Now, all of those are on the left-hand side of the chart. I get it. But once you start learning that the footprint remains the same when the banks and institutions are involved, and when there is an accumulation of sell tickets and buy tickets and so on, okay? And this is very important that the footprint remains the same, whether I'm trading any asset class or I'm trading any time frame. We need the details. So let's go to live markets. I got a couple of examples that I'm going to share with you. And looking left is the key, a very key point. Bringing up, well, I have a special interest in this one. We do have Goldman Sachs earnings coming out tomorrow, okay? And as we are looking at that picture on a price chart, we can see that we have, and you have to dial down the time frames. I'm not going to get into too much detail on that just yet. But you see, we have the support and we have our sell territory above. And then we have the origin of a very strong move. So we're looking for sellers to step in about 323. And then we go down and left, we find a resistance area. And then we find that zone just below that, where we're looking for buyers to step back in, and about 198, 185. Okay. So let's get some examples for you here. Let me go out to Apple. Okay. Now, Apple on a daily chart here, as we mentioned, the leg-based group of candles earlier, okay? Part of the process of teaching yourself, okay? Now I'm going to give you enough information. Caitlin and I are giving you enough information here in this preview of what we do. We call it a showcase, okay? For you to verify some of this information. Now I want to tell you how you verify it. First, you find an area on the price chart where you have desired to take a trade. Okay. Now, how many would have loved to have gone short right at that area right there and enjoyed this nice move down? It's a lot of points, isn't it? Okay. See, by understanding the left-hand side of the chart, we have to have a good understanding of what it is we want to create. What is it that you want to manifest? Well, I want to manifest a successful trade. What's a successful trade look like? Well, we got hundreds of thousands of successful trades on the left-hand side of the chart. Okay. So we use the left-hand side of the chart to verify information. I desire to take this trade short at 176.33. In order to do that, the information I seek is over here on the left-hand side. Now, this first exercise, find a place you desire to make a trade. Then look left. You will turn the time frame up or down, and you will look for that group of candles. So here, and sometimes the first time you do it, you place a vertical line on the leg in, and then you place a vertical line on the leg out. It's pretty simple so far. In between the leg in, leg out, base candles only. The base candle's body after the leg out is where I would place my entry line. And the highest wick, tail, or shadow of the entire leg in, base, leg out is where I would place my stop loss line. Okay. Now the stop loss line is very important because it helps me determine the risk involved in taking the trade off of this time frame. Now, if the risk is too big and outside your trade plan, then simply do not take the trade. Stick to your trade plan and your budget. So now we have the leg-based group of candles right here. And we see that price respected that area in a place I desired to make a trade. Now see, this is that association that we're making. The group of candles was there, price changed direction. I desire to have a successful trade. What does a successful trade look like? Okay. Now, when forecasting, I still desire to take a successful trade. And one of the things I must do is look left in order to see if there is a group of candles to the left side of the chart that I could use to anticipate that if and when price returns there, I would expect the same results as what I had up here. Okay. So in opening this up, quick little step, I have placed a vertical line on the leg in. vertical line on the leg out. In between, I have base candles only. First base candle's body after the leg out, my entry line, and my stop line goes to the lowest tail of the entire leg in base, leg out base. And notice I'm choosing my words carefully. As part of the things that we do here at the Elite Trade is we and we use specific teaching techniques that help you visualize and help you retain the information very quickly and so on. Okay, so now I have my stop level or stop line. Okay, so price has not gotten down to my desired place while I enter the trade. I can now assess the risk involved in taking that trade. And I might need to size it down to maybe 10 shares or less, less amount of shares in order to fit into what it is I desire to take a trade at. Let's take another one here. AMGN. Okay. Now Amgen, I'm going to do this on what do we have? A 30-minute chart. Okay. Now the time frame doesn't matter. Okay. It's the same picture. Yeah, Amgen. Okay. So how many have seen Amgen's activity over the last couple of days? Ooh, beautiful move up, yes? Almost 25, 30 points there. Okay. So if you desired to take Amgen as a trade, would this have been a great entry right about in this area? So what was to the left of that? What has been consistent in an area I had desired to take a trade? Let's open this up a little bit further so you can all see the candles. Okay. So I'm going to place a vertical line on the leg in. Place a vertical line on the leg out. In between the leg out, or sorry, leg in and leg out, or base candles only. First base candle's body after the leg out is where I place my entry line. And then I put my stop line in place. Okay, stop line is always important because it helps us understand our risk on any trade and whether that risk is something that we want to accept. So having this picture, put us in front of a desired trade outcome. Okay. All right, let's come back to our I have more examples for you a little bit later. I'd love to show you that Canadian dollar. Got to keep this moving on. What do you guys think so far? Is that pretty simple? You can use the chat too. But see, we always need to verify why price changed direction. And what is that group of candles and what does it look like? Now, in a few minutes later on in the section, I'll show you how to adjust the time frame up or down to get that exact picture where the leg base group of candles is at. See, it's not about a time frame, and you may not find it on some of the time frames you're using, so you have to dial down a little bit or dial up. That's where your discipline traits get really worked on. Okay. So what we focus on is a very specific group of candles where price changes direction. And this is the Elite Trade's own leg base group of candles. Adjusting the time frame, finding the 3 touches of support and resistance, all of these become very detailed step-by-step process as we lead in and then start forecasting the right side of the chart to see where price may change direction. Now, we will spend a lot of time on the left-hand side of the chart so that you see hundreds of times that the very specific information that we're talking about is present when you have a desired trade. Okay. Now, using these in conjunction with bigger time frames to see how they work together as far as trend analysis, this will help you focus on precisely where you want to look and gauge your risk on any trade. The Elite Trade's own leg base is a very specific group of candles where price changes direction. This can lead us to desired trades where we actually start to manifest what we want to create. Now, part of that manifestation of a winning trade is being willing to accept the risk on a trade and knowing what that risk is. Visualization and visualize areas where you have desired trades, look left and find that key information and refer to that picture, the leg base group of candles in what I just demonstrated. Is this where you step in? Sorry, I think I got a couple more slides here. So in training the eyes to see the picture on the price chart, we know exactly what to look for on the left side of the chart. You can better anticipate the right-hand side of the chart. Now, this does take several charts to look at to change your belief system. Okay, here's another example, a desired trade outcome. Love to have gone long right at that point there. So what would I need to see to the left-hand side of the chart? I would need to see an area, and to define that area, I'd need to find my resistance, and then I'd need to find that buy territory, which is identified underneath the resistance, draw that structure. Within the structure, I would know where to look for the leg base group of candles. Okay. All right, couple quizzes here. Why is it important to look left? To visualize structures, shapes, patterns, to identify an imbalance of orders, to identify leg base group of candles. Everybody's going with D. Wow. Okay. Oh, D is the answer. Good job, everybody. I can't run this fast by you. Any questions that you may have, go ahead and type them in the chat. Okay. Let us know if you have any questions, and throughout this, either I'll answer them in the text or Caitlin will jump on and text or I'll answer those questions as well. All right, next section here.
All right, great job. I think I got on top of the couple questions I saw in the chat, but if any of the questions got missed, feel free to type them in and Jeff will be able to answer it for you guys. So next up is visualizing successful trades. So this is what, most of us want to do, is identifying where those successful trades are at, knowing specifically what to look for and what that picture on the price chart looks like. Someone mentioned, like finding the group of candles, for example, do we stick with one time frame, or are we going to different time frames? That's one of the things Jeff is going to be going into more detail, is that we need to be flexible with time frames and think of it like a dial, where we want to turn the time frame up or turn the time frame down until we see that picture on the price charts and it's very clear for us. So visualizing successful trades, not only visualizing them and knowing what to look for, but also why it was successful. So this is what we're going to be teaching you during the Mastering the Charts course, going into just understanding why, it's not random why price changes direction. We're going to be showing you guys that specific picture on the price chart that we look for time and time again. So I'm going to bring up a chart and show you a successful trade. Now I'm curious, who here has seen this before? Was anyone who's in the room now, were they part of the recap session today? If you were, you may have seen this trade setup, but I'm showing you a successful trade. Cindy does. Hey, Cindy, good to see you. This was one we took in our recap session today, and it was from our prep screen. So this is what you're going to be seeing on Monday. Again, it's Saturday, Sunday teaching. Monday is where we get into it in the live markets. But here was a zone that we found on a 2-minute time frame. So 2-minute time frame is where we identified that leg base group of candles. Can't see it here quite yet, but ultimately price came back up into it and changed direction. Now, the goal that we want to teach you guys is how to find trade setups like this. I'm going to show you guys, for those of you who aren't in our live trading room or our recap sessions, but here was our prep screen that, we send you guys each day before the session. Here was our S&P zone at 3649.75. I'm going to put that right next to the chart and just show you that what we're putting out there is what we're, seeing in the live market. So Again, S&P from our prep screen, 3649.75, 3660.5. That was this zone right here. 2-minute time frame is where we found that leg base group of candles. 2 minutes. So for those of you who only stick to certain time frames, we want to be flexible with turn the time frame up, turn the time frame down. You'll see a lot of these other zones that we have here or that we mark each morning. This zone on the NASDAQ was a 10-minute zone. This one was a 3-minute. This one was a 1-minute. These are time frames where we're isolating that leg base group of candles. So time frame doesn't matter, all about that picture on the price charts. So just showing that, again, this is where we're going to go over on Monday when you guys are in the live trading room with us. You'll be able to understand why we're choosing these zones very specifically and very methodically Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday in the live trading room. So again, showing you guys that, Emmanuel knows as well. So great job to everyone who took that trade. So again, this here is where we would have loved to take a short trade. So this is our desired short trade here. Would love to have taken this short trade, take it all the way down. We went into the more detail as far as why we took this trade, but it's all about the information to the left-hand side. When I go through the pre-market routine, you'll see the zone set up like this, but we're going to be teaching you is exactly how I arrived at this zone and what we're looking for on the price charts that makes it a higher probability successful trade setup and what that picture looks like. So just to illustrate for you guys, first thing I'm seeing is that we have a support level. There was an area where the buyers were stepping in, they were pushing price up several times till ultimately there were no more buyers and price went down and moved lower. So here was an area where I'm seeing some support holding up the market until ultimately price moved lower. Now above that, this is where we identify our sell territory. It's a range where we're looking for some unfilled sell orders. I'm looking for sell orders above this support level, somewhere within this range, but not quite sure yet. Now we go into such precise detail in mastering the charts that we start looking at the price patterns, getting a feel for how the markets are moving. So we're seeing that within these sell territories, we have structures where price is making high points and pivot low points. All of this is going to be very important for us to visualize where we're looking for that leg base, very specific group of candles that Jeff mentioned. So ultimately, that's going to cue us in on where to look within the sell territory to find that leg base group of candles. Now you can't see it on a 2-minute time frame, so I'm going to show you guys, just give you a glimpse what that looks like and the importance of turning the time frame up or down. So right now we're on a 5-minute time frame. Right now we can't see the leg base group of candles. What we want to do though is be flexible. Again, it's like a dial, turn the time frame up or down until we find that group of candles. This was one, again, from our prep screen we found on the 2-minute time frame. Now going back over to the left-hand side of the chart. Oh, that was a 3-minute. Like that's not the leg base. There we go. So zooming into that area, and why I chose it was because I found that very specific group of candles there. I'm going to remove or just adjust the lines a little bit so you guys can see it. That leg base group of candles is present. So again, coming back over here, zooming in, we've got a green leg candle that Jeff talked about. We have a base candle, base candle, base candle, red leg out candle, base candle. We place our entry line and our stop line. That's what isolates that group of candles. So we know where we're going to be entering the trade, where we're going to sell at, where we're going to place our stop to manage our risk, and then ultimately identifying that zone based on the time frame. That's how I arrived at the 2-minute time frame for this zone, but ultimately being able to get us in the right location and seeing these structures is what leads to finding that short trade opportunity. So now stepping back out, 15-minute time frame. It becomes a lot clearer the more you do it. And just walking through this process, if your goal is to find those turning points in the market where we would have liked to find a long trade setup or a short trade setup, look left. That's where all the information is going to be, where we're choosing our prep zones that we go over each morning with you guys. And again, this is what we're going to be going over with you on Monday when we start implementing what you've learned in the live markets. So very exciting, great trade setup there. As Jeff mentioned, I went over, a lot of other trade setups that we got today, all based on, again, just this picture on the price charts and us having that time to be able to share that and teach you guys. Hey, Wahid, let's see, there are 3 base candles in this case. Yes. So who knows, since I know there's some of you guys in this room, how many base candles can we have in between the leg in and the leg out? What's the maximum? Now, this is something you'll learn in the course because there's a limit. Nice job, Terry. Yes, it is 5. Great job, Ben. A lot of you guys know it. Nice job, Sophia. Good to see you here. Yeah, 1 to 5 based candles. So, and that's one of those specific pieces of information that we need to know to isolate that zone. Just a variation of it. But once you start to do it and implement it more and more, it becomes like secondhand, just being able to find these zones. So really excited about that. That was part 1, is visualizing the successful trades, knowing what to look for so we can take advantage of strong drops in the market like this, and also rallies to the upside, and understanding why price did that. But also where we're different than other companies, some people just want to focus on the successful trades and not really understanding or learning from your past mistakes or unsuccessful trades. But this is actually one of my favorite topics. It's helped me learn, from the unsuccessful trades, what not to do moving forward. So the purpose of unsuccessful trades is to visualize past mistakes that went uncorrected and be able to learn a different way of looking at the price charts. That's the thing. If we don't correct our past mistakes, then we're more likely to make them again in the future. So we need to assess what went on, what were the market conditions, be able to assess that to give us, a better idea of what we're going to do in the future. There are common mistakes that people make that we will address and show you how to become more methodical, rule-based, specific, very objective. As you're seeing like that leg base group of candles, you guys know we need 5 base candles in that zone. For those of you who've taken, our course before, that's one of the criteria and very rule-based pieces of information that we look for. So we will be implementing this by showing you a step-by-step process that focus on training the eyes to visualize these price patterns. And I've had so many students that once they go through this process, it just becomes so clear to them. I've had students say that it's really opened their eyes to seeing the price charts in a whole new way that they haven't seen before. So that's what, our goal is in this course with you guys. So example 1, is this a good place to sell? We're looking at Facebook, we're seeing prices rallying to the upside. Some of you may choose this spot as a zone. We may say, hey, this is where price changed direction before. I'm going to take a short trade here. But when we start to assess it a little bit more, this is where Facebook previously had a strong move down. We notice that the trade failed. Now, again, taking a failing trade and understanding why it failed is just as important as understanding why a trade was successful. So it's not a bad thing as long as we can learn from it moving forward. So what is missing? Well, if you go back to our successful trade here, what's missing is all this information over here. We're missing the sell territory. We're missing the structures, the leg base. So you'll see that in the PowerPoint, that information is actually a little bit further to the left. So important. We go back to the beginning of this presentation. Looking left is key. We need to be able to look left to see what information was present. And that's where we're going to be looking for our trade opportunities. So how many of you, and I've been here before, so it's okay, would have been stopped out just for price to go in your direction after? This is common. So if it's happened to you, no problem. But keep in mind the answer may have been to the left-hand side of the chart a little bit more. Now, when we look left, we see we didn't have that information here. Looking a little bit further to the left, this is where we have that leg base group of candles. This is where we have that support coming into play with the 3 touches. We have that structure. This is going to be our sell territory that we teach you and show you guys in mastering the charts. So this, I think someone actually mentioned this before as well, if we talk about trading areas that are pivot points or are retests, absolutely. So this one's actually a good example of that, where this would have been a pivot point. Our zone is a little bit further to the left. So whoever asked that, this one's going to be an example of that we need to have that information to qualify a zone versus a pivot point. So any questions so far? I like the questions though, keep them coming. Yeah, and I like what Jeff is saying too. Knowing the difference between a zone and a pivot is huge for understanding where we're looking to stay in a longer term trade setup versus maybe just looking for a bounce, potentially a trade failing, but our goal is to stay in trades longer. So once we know what a zone is, that's going to help us to stay in trade setups a little bit longer. Let's see, will those slide or course content be accessible for the Wahid for the Mastering the Charts course? So that, yes, we give you guys everything for the Mastering the Charts course. You get all the recordings, you get the 3 days of PowerPoint content, all the supplementary materials and handouts. That all is going to be available for you guys on the website on theelitetrade.com. And then the recording for this course is going to be posted on YouTube after the fact. Let's see, I see one more question from Dennis. Do people new to trading start with Mastering the Charts? Do you have subscription options for solutions beyond Mastering the Charts? Yeah, so we say if you're new to trading, come into Mastering the Charts to learn the basics, build that foundation as far as what we're doing in the live trading room. Sometimes students may want to jump to the live trading room and see things in action, but we want to build you from the ground up and build that foundation as far as how to read the price charts. That 3 days is going to give you the most amount of content, plus the 1 month follow-up of the recap sessions, the Thursday, Friday Discord group sessions. That's where you're going to get most of your value, especially if you're newer with trading.
Yeah, this course that we're offering here for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Okay, got it right. Okay. There are a lot of new things that Caitlin and I have been putting together, and the Mastering the Charts review and follow-up is extremely important. As we've been observing our students in the Discord room, sometimes they get some things upside down and backwards, and we're like, no wonder they're not making this work. Okay, so we encourage everybody to keep sending in pictures in our community, and one of our tabs is the picture perfect past trades. Show us what you're seeing. Find us picture perfect past trades and post them in there, because the whole time we're critiquing. So, and it might be in the middle of the night, or might be very early in the morning, or during the regular markets. We're always monitoring our Discord group and staying on top of our students. Also, that Canadian dollar trade that we saw, that was a very nice little short-term trade, but everything worked really well on it. That was right. That was all posted in the Discord room, and so are our prep screen zones and things like that. Very supportive community. Caitlin will go into a lot of details in the next section about what is offered in the Mastering the Charts course. We still have a little more teaching to share with you. This middle section is we want to show you that these things work. Now, Caitlin, if you're ready to sign up for Mastering the Charts, Caitlin can post that link right in the chat and take you right to it, okay? But if you still want a little more detail, we're happy to do that too. We just got a few more minutes of doing the detail, and then we'll get into some of the real specifics about the course outline, how we do it Saturday and Sunday and Monday. We'll break all those things down for you. We'll have cost, we'll have time, we'll show you how to follow up. All those details are coming up. Okay, and yes, and as Caitlin did point out, we do have a workbook that goes along with our slide deck. Okay, and we do have homework assignments. So you guys are going to be busy for a couple of days. They're not extensive, but we want to make sure that you retain the information, and they're strategically put in place in order for you to retain this, so that on Monday you'll be trading with us in the live trading room. And then if you choose to be part of our live trading room, We have a monthly service that we do 3 days a week. We'll go into some more detail on that.
Yeah, and just real quick to touch on Chris's question briefly, because we'll go into more detail on this later. But yeah, the recording's available for you indefinitely. Once you got that recording through the website, you can watch that whenever you want, as many times as you want. That's yours to keep. And then for the Discord group, you guys got that for a full month with us after the course. So there's a lot of perks where it's not just a 3-day event anymore. You're getting 1 month of follow-up with us, and that includes the Discord room.
And that's 2 days a week. And currently at this time, I mean, it's a really good time to be signing up for this, is that if you're part of the Discord room, you will also get an invite to Thursday, Friday, where we take some of our advanced students that have been through these and we just trade live. And many times these last the whole session. So we're a big family there. We have such a great group of people that are all looking for trades, and we're supporting each other. So a lot more on the details of our Discord group and just coming up. So I want to show you a few more cool things, okay? And if you have any more questions, please type them in the chat, okay? All right. Now, one of the reasons we do change timeframes, okay? When we take a blend of our conscious mind and what we see, and then our subconscious, okay? When the conscious and subconscious mind agree, then you take action. It's absolute. You don't stop, you just follow through. It's because you've seen the pattern enough times, you've traced it out, documented it. Now, that doesn't mean every place is going to be a successful trade. There are times that areas get run through because of lack of volume or volatility steps in, or news, economic events. But we always manage risk by having a protective stop loss on the bottom side of or top side of our zone at our stop line, okay? But adjusting the timeframes up or down allows you to see the same picture each time. Now, this is why we spend a lot of time on the left-hand side of the chart finding picture-perfect past trades, and we start to notice that there's a very similar footprint each and every time. But we don't always see it at one time frame, okay? So we adjust the time frame down in order to get the right picture, or adjust the time frame up. And it doesn't matter either way you go, as long as it looks technically and structure-wise, all the pieces are there: support and resistance, buy territories, sell territories, structures, area, and of course, the leg-based group of candles. Now we start you with the leg-based group of candles, okay? We also do some one-on-one coaching. So that one-on-one coaching in many times is just getting people back to identifying where they desire to take a trade. So here we have a picture of an 8-minute chart on crude oil. Now down here, it's like, wow, okay, I see that, but why is that a zone? Okay. Now by adjusting the time frame down, we're able to get more of that picture, the magnification of it. Now, when you do go down in time frame to get the structure, often the reward is a little bit smaller based on the structure. Okay. If you want bigger rewards, you're going to have to accept bigger risk. Going down to smaller time frames, if you're actively trading, can reduce the size of the zones, therefore potentially reducing the risk on that trade. Okay. Now, all of these are greatly important. So we started with an 8-minute, and then we went down to a 2-minute chart here. And now we can see the zigzag in there, kind of see peaks and valleys, and we can see that there's 3 times that price came up and hit that resistance. Now, once we have a resistance level, we look at the area below that, and that's where the buy territory is at. And then we find our leg-based group of candles within that buy territory. Now, buy territories and sell territories are really great because they show us the extremes also. And then we can see if we're trading in the upper quadrant where we should be looking for short trades, or the lower quadrant if we're looking for long trades. And if we're in the middle, we know that we're just doing some short-term trades and taking some small profits. Okay. Again, a successful trade. Here's another example, okay? And this example is how we start to drill in to find the picture that we're looking for. So we have a desired trade, a place we wanted to take a trade short. We went over this earlier. If I wanted to take a trade short, I would have to look left and look in that area, okay? And then we're talking about the leg-based group of candles right now. If I adjust, starting with the 120-minute chart, I just see something that has already happened, a desired trade, and I want to see if there's a leg-based group of candles in there somewhere. So by tracing out my zigzag, I can still see I have the 3 touches, a support, meaning the area above is my sell territory. We made a lower high, therefore I'm looking closer at the breakout or the strong move away from here as that potential place to find the leg base. Walk you right through very detailed picture, okay? So as we start to turn down the time frame, it's almost like we know the area to look for that leg base group of candles, but we still have to turn the time frame down or up to get it. And once we do find it, we map it out. We see that leg base group of candles is within the sell territory or a zone within that sell territory. It is above where the buyers were stepping in, and we know there's no more buyers at this area because price broke through it. It's all old stuff. If there were any buyers left, we would have got another bounce off of support. So that move out took out all of the leftover buyers, okay? As price came back up to that area where we had the leg-based group of candles, the trade manifested and played out. So what I gathered from this is that group of candles, that leg-based group of candles was present, and we went to a 62-minute chart. Oh my gosh, who uses a 62-minute chart? Well, we do, to get the exact right picture. That picture needs to be so specific that even a computer can replicate it. That will build upon your discipline, okay? Another place for a desired trade. These are great because they drop right in, take right off, man. I would love to have every trade look like that. Just nonstop, bounce back up, do the happy dance each time. In order to find out why price changed here, we need to associate this area and look inside and see if there is that leg-based group of candles. Now, this picture was started off on a 100-minute, and all I did was find a place I desired to take a trade and started to look left. As we start to turn down the time frame, we see that you can see how when you start turning down the time frame, you get more candles, therefore more detail. And as we keep drilling in, we're able to find that leg base. We went from a 100-minute chart down to a 70-minute chart till we had the exact picture: leg in, base, leg out, base. Now, you're starting to make that association. That group of candles is present, and there's a desired trade. It didn't even go very deep into the zone. I love that. I don't like to get in at the entry line and then price go all the way down in and then start to come back out. I want to trade, and this is what I desire to trade and what we desire to find on the price chart. And we take that trade and manage our risk by having that area on the side or the stop line in place. So let's again go out to some live markets. Okay, I'm going to show you a picture perfect past trade, one that was done on the Canadian dollar. And as I was reviewing the Canadian dollar trade from today, I found that there was a long entry shooting price up into that supply. And then there was a short entry from that supply all the way back down. A beautiful picture. So starting here with the Canadian dollar, for me personally, I like these big green candles as part of my trade and big red candles as part of my trade, okay? So we're going to look at 2 different places here. First, I would love to have gone long right there. Beautiful move up. And I would like to have gone short right here, okay? Now, one thing that catches my eye really quick is this area right here where price has been met several times. Now, this area, we do color the box green. It is support. Okay. Now, what's happening here is every time price drops here, it finds more buyers, finds more buyers, finds more buyers, finds more buyers. Okay. So there are buyers that were pushing price up, but then we got more and more sellers involved until they took out all the buyers and then price dropped out of that area. Okay. So we have our sell territory. And if I wanted to take that trade short, I would have to look left. Okay. But before I do that, let me just take a moment here and trace out what your subconscious sees. Subconscious is very specific and it looks at shapes and patterns. So you have to rewire what you feel or see as a picture perfect trade. You have to rewire that and concentrate on what you desire to manifest, what you desire to create. Therefore, finding picture perfect past trades, even though this one was a live trade that we took today, it was posted in the Discord room as it started, and Caitlin shared that with you a little bit before at the beginning of our session. Okay, so we have our structure inside, and then price took out all of those buyers. There's no more buyers left. And we noticed that we made a higher high. Okay. Now, generally, when we make a higher high, we know to look in this upper area right here, closer to the pivot point, rather than closer to the breakout point. Okay. So let's take off some of this noise, some of the lines, so that we can drill into that. So where we are going to look is in this area, and I want to open it up so you can see the candles. I'm going to start with a 30-minute chart. And in the beginning, you can turn this down 1 minute at a time. Okay. And also there's some helpful tools on many different platforms where you can use a doji tool, which can greatly help you, okay, by identifying the base candles. So every candle that has a little blue dot on it is a base candle. Okay. Now, at first glance on a 30-minute chart, I see my base candle body after the leg out, and I see the stop line. That I would have had to take a lot of heat on that one. Okay. Now, and that zone was pretty big at first glance. So as I turned the time frame down and went back to that same area, I was able to pinpoint the leg base group of candles and make that zone smaller to where it fit my risk parameters. It was closer to where it would not have been a trade anymore. Okay. Meaning it's gone too high in the sell territory. It had to be in this area based on making that higher high. We had to look at that. Above that, we would have been looking at something else. Okay. We found the leg base group of candles, and bam, there was our desired trade. Okay. Now I am taking a moment here to walk you through that process. Okay. Now that was one desired trade. As I started reducing the time frame, and this was a desired trade to go long, I started to see some of this form down here. Okay. But I did have to keep turning the time frame down in order to get some of that detail. Turn it down or up to get the exact picture. Okay. So right across the top, I wanted to find not a straight line, but an area where we had price meeting resistance 3 times, where sellers kept coming in and pushing price down. And we see that price came into it, hit the sellers once, hit the sellers twice, 3 times, 4 times. Okay. So 4 times sellers came in and pushed price down. So below that area, as price broke out of that area, once it broke out, it became my buy territory. Okay. So I find my structure within the buy territory. As I'm tracing it out right now. What are you guys thinking so far? Is this difficult to learn? Take some repetition, take some practice. There's a lot more detail to it, but we're giving you the basics of what we do in the live trading room, what we do with students each day when we're setting up trades. Some days we're waiting for trades, some days we're very actively trading. Today in the live trading room was a very active trading day. We had several trades we took, all using live capital. And that's important. Because then you're going to see my face go red and pale and all that. If it doesn't go against me, I mean, as instructors, we always want that successful trade, right? So right down at the bottom here, okay, I have a vertical line I'm placing on the leg end, which is a red candle. Okay, open that up a little bit. And then we have a base, another leg, another base. Okay, so placing a vertical line on the leg in and a vertical line on the leg out, base candles only. Now, in this example, okay, as price left this area, since we had all of that resistance, you may have had an opportunity to take the trade also at the breakout. That is an additional trade setup. I like these as part of my trading style. I like that breakout momentum, I think. Okay. And so it's part of the map that we teach. Okay. And as we found that leg base group of candles, we have the stop line, and then we have our entry line. And we see that price came right down to it. Again, all the parts were there. Okay. Price dropped into that area. There were still leftover buy orders in that leg base zone in the buy territory. Okay. Price respected it. Now you're going to see pictures like this over and over and over again. Okay. Now, having an established buy territory, having an established sell territory, you can start to learn, is price low in the quadrant, or is it high in the quadrant? Okay, in order to assess that risk. So if my zone is low in the low quadrant in a buy territory, I want to be a buyer. If the zone is located in the upper quadrant inside a sell territory, then I want to be a seller. So we're able to assess the amount of risk on a trade and so on as we set it up. Very systematic, very step-by-step, adjusting timeframes up or down to get that exact right picture so that you feel good about the risk on the trade that you're willing to take and also the potential reward. Okay. So as we're coming up to the final part, this is what you need to know. Okay. I'm going to sign off, send it back over to Caitlin, and she can give you all those details. And don't hesitate. This is going to be very, very good for you. Okay.
Yeah, and I'm telling you guys, this is something I wish I would have gotten when I first started learning how to trade. We want to, give you guys a ton of value with this course. Not, it used to be where it was just a 3-day course and that was pretty much it. But now we're giving you that extra, learning reinforcement by adding in additional classes for 1 month that you'll see here. A lot of stuff to make sure that you guys stay on track. If you have questions, even after the course, you can ask us those in the recap sessions. So just to break down what you get, the Mastering the Charts event dates are October 15th, 16th, and 17th. So that's going to be this Saturday, Sunday, Monday, strategically planned out so that we have time to teach you what we look for on the price chart Saturday and Sunday and start to implement everything and put all those pieces together on Monday in the live markets. Each day, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern time. 3 full days of interactive trading education. You guys know who have taken, Mastering the Charts before. We like having quizzes in there. We like having walkthroughs, a lot of examples, things to keep it engaging so that you guys can learn it more easily. It's more fun to learn it. And we can also get your feedback in those courses. So ultimately knowing when to buy and sell, especially during these volatile market conditions. I mean, you've seen a lot of examples today already as far as we're taking long trades, we're taking short trades, taking breakout trades, but ultimately break it down, keep it simple. It's all about the picture on the price chart. So this is what you used to get. Now we're also including a lot more. So here's what else you get. You get 1 month of the Mastering the Charts recap and review sessions. So 1 month after, the classes are going to be Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Immediately after is going to be the Tuesday, Wednesday recap sessions. From 11:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern time. You get 1 month of that. So starting October 15th, you'll be with us till November 11th, where you get 1 month of the recap and review sessions, learning reinforcement as far as what we taught in the 3-day course, going over examples, drawing the buy and sell territories, making sure that you're staying on track with what you learned during the 3-day event. And then also the 1 month of the instructor-led Discord group sessions. These are going to be, again, October 20th through November 11th, Thursdays and Fridays from 9 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. Eastern time. So you can see a lot of time is going to be added to not only the 3-day course, but just that learning reinforcement, giving you guys ample time to ask questions, send in your charts. If anything is ever unclear, you can ask us, you can send us an email. We're very much available to you guys and wanting you to succeed in your trading journeys. So that's why we're adding all of this. Plus you get all the recordings, content, and supplementary materials through our website at theelitetrade.com. Total all that up, that comes up to over 42 hours of trading education. So again, plenty of time for you guys to get on track, start to see the pictures of what we look for and how to be more confident in reading the price charts. Once you know that, again, it applies to any asset class, whether you trade stocks, futures, Forex, any time frame, just got to be flexible with turning the time frame down, turning the time frame up. But ultimately, it's all about you guys, giving you guys that value and a lot of things that, I wish I would have had when I first started learning how to trade. So experience a live trading room on Monday. So Saturday, Sunday, again, we're doing the teaching. We're showing you guys what to look for. We're answering your questions. Pop in on Monday to the live trading room. It's all going to start to make sense as we implement it. You guys will get that prep screen and a recap screen each day in our live trading room sessions. You'll look for, again, those areas where we're looking for our buy and sell opportunities from our prep screen, taking breakout trades as well as short trades, long trades. Now here's another setup where we took a breakout trade on oil, looking for more trending opportunities in the live trading room. But several times we're looking for, why are we going long here? Why are we going short here? It's all about that picture on the price chart, looking for that leg base group of candles in a very specific location. You can see this picture on the NASDAQ. Market conditions were volatile and choppy at that time because price was drifting sideways, but we were still picking some nice trade opportunities because, again, it's all about that picture on the price charts. Here's some more showing some successes from our recap screens that we provide you guys. More from the live trading room. So all of this you'll start to see on Monday, which will put the pieces together for you guys so you can implement what you taught or what you learned on Saturday and Sunday, implementing that on Monday. A bunch of examples, again, student testimonials as well. So Tuesday, Wednesday, you guys get the recap sessions. So you'll be with us from Saturday, Sunday, Monday for class, followed by Tuesday, Wednesday for the Mastering the Charts recap sessions. And then you got Thursday, Friday for the Discord group sessions. So a lot of time with us. So hopefully you guys are ready for that and just, excited to learn about what we're going to be teaching you guys. So Tuesday, Wednesday, purpose, learning reinforcement, showing you how we're drawing the boxes, implementing it in the live market so you guys can really learn what we're teaching. Also, asking quiz questions. For example, here we had what clue helped us to identify, a way to stay in this trade longer. Different things like that are going to get you thinking and just being able to better assess the market conditions and be more confident with how you're reading the price charts. Thursday, Friday instructor-led Discord group sessions. These are always fun. So you can see some of our students here. You guys might be in the room now. You don't have to put your camera on, so that's okay. We're having a good session this day, so we asked everyone to turn their cameras on. But again, these are always great. They're more laid back, they're more interactive. Students can always jump on the screen share or turn on their mic to ask a question. So if you like more of that laid back feel too, that's going to be more for the Discord group live sessions with you guys.
And they're also happy, if you look at that chart carefully, look at that trade entry. That's the desired trade. Right there. Boom. How many like getting trades like that? Even on one micro. Look how much risk we had on that trade. Not very much. 2 points on the S&P. Okay. Just want to point that out. That comes to that desired trade. If you look left, you'll find our leg base group of candles and all the parts we just mentioned.
Awesome. So here's another from the Discord group. So yeah, this session, this recording we'll post out on YouTube so you guys can have access to that. But once you sign up for the course, all of that content, recordings, materials, that'll be made available through theelitetrade.com. And then I also see Dennis, maybe Jeff answered this. Do you recommend students have a trading account set up before? That's definitely preferred. Even if you just want to start trading in sim or looking at a price chart, it's just easier to practice while you're learning, I would say, so that you can implement what you're teaching and we can make sure that you're on the right track if you do want to share your screen and your chart setups with us. So even in these volatile markets, again, we're finding some great trade setups, prices chopping around, we're going up, we're going down, but ultimately it's all about that picture on the price charts. Also, for those of you guys who aren't familiar with us, feel free to check us out on our YouTube channel. It's The Elite Trade. We have a lot of videos out there for those of you who want to see a little bit more about what we do in the live trading room or previous showcases, get some of our testimonials. We have all of that out on our YouTube channel, The Elite Trade. We also do one-on-one coaching. So this was a chart set up from one of my recent sessions with a student. We set up this buy territory in this zone here. Successful trade setup there. We're going to be doing some specials in November. So if you guys are interested in the one-on-one coaching, you can always email us at theelitetrade@gmail.com. Also, some of our Mastering the Charts students and testimonials, just to give you guys feel, we love meeting with you guys and just being with you. Some of the feedback that we've gotten from some of our previous courses, but just really, appreciate you guys and helping you to see the picture on the price charts more clearly. All about opening your eyes and seeing things that maybe you haven't seen before, or if things have been confusing, or if you don't know the right questions to ask, you can always come to us to get those questions answered. Here's a couple more. Left one over here is Jeff and I in Dubai, and that's one of the great things about trading is that you can do it from anywhere in the world. You can be across the world, you can be trading, teaching over there. That's, something I've loved about trading, for the past several years now, as far as, I used to work in corporate life, but then once I realized that I can work from anywhere in the world, having that freedom was huge for me. So really fun, been doing this for a while now. Mastering the Charts. So again, just to recap, the event dates are going to be this weekend, starting Saturday, Sunday, Monday, October 15th, 16th, and 17th. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern time. Make sure you guys use the promo code ELITE for that $500 discount. That's going to give you access to the Mastering the Charts recap sessions that we mentioned. You guys get a month of that, as well as the Discord group sessions on Thursdays and Fridays. So if it's easier, you can scan the QR code with your phone, and you can also go to theelitetrade.com to sign up as well. So awesome, great feedback from you guys. Any other questions that we missed, Jeff? Anything else? Yeah, and just to clarify, the video of today's session, if you want to review it, that will be posted on YouTube. You can go to our The Elite Trade channel, where we'll make that public for everyone to see and watch if you guys want to look back at it.
And if you have somebody that is struggling and this seems like it may be not for you, but it might be for somebody else, please refer them over to us. Love to take care of them and make you look good. We will get them successful. No, this has been a great session. Here, can we go back to the contacts? Yeah, there were several questions in the chat room. We've got the showcase email that'll come out. Having access to charts during the course is important. You do not need a funded account. We prefer that you do some practice and a lot of work verifying the information before you do any live trades. So make sure you always verify. And the reason Caitlin and I went into such detail on what we have here is we want a good match with you, the student, and us. So expressing and showing our teaching style, what we do, how we work together, what that picture looks like on the price chart are all key points to help our students recover through trading any tuition that they may put out. And we've got several testimonies of students covering their tuition very quickly after they have taken the course or even in the live trading room. And it gets almost kind of funny when we say it, oh, well, that paid for my whole month in one trade, you know. Let's see, any other questions that we might have missed?
Let's see.
We're good.
I think we're good. And then, yeah, if you guys, I think what we'll do is we'll send everyone the recording after today's session. So I think everyone input their email address. So you guys should all get the recording of today's session later this evening. I think that's it. If there's no other questions, yeah, Jeff, anything else that you want to add? We're really excited for you guys to sign up and be there with us. Again, just all the value that you guys are getting is something I really wish I would have had when I first started my journey in trading. So keep that in mind, you know, a lot of follow-up, a lot of learning reinforcement that we haven't done before. So, you know, you guys are getting the 3 days of classes, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern time, immediately followed by the recap sessions, immediately followed by the Discord group, interactive, more informal sessions. So you're getting a lot of value from this course, again, over 42 hours of trading education to hone in on your skills and better read the price charts.
And we're just excited that all of you came in here to support us and be part of this recording and all of this prep in order to get out the live or the Mastering the Charts course out there. Come and join us on that. It'll be fun. It'll be very educational. So we look forward to seeing you there. And for those that are just checking in, we'll see you in the live trading room tomorrow, and also the Mastering the Charts review session, which should get pretty exciting. We have Goldman Sachs earnings coming out tomorrow morning. And with what happened with BlackRock this morning, looks like BlackRock is going much lower, and that is a huge, huge company. Okay, and just be prepared. There's some crazy things about ready to happen in the market, and you want to know where to be buying and where to be selling, and how to protect yourself around the right people. Okay. If nothing else, I'm going to wrap up tonight.
All right. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, so stay on the lookout for an email. Oh, and then one more thing, if you guys have signed up already, you guys will get the Zoom links on Friday evening. So keep an eye out for that email, which will give you all the details for the course, the breakdown, how to prepare. So you guys will have all that information by Friday.
And Chris, Singh, if you did take Training the Eyes, that course I had earlier, there is a discount offer as well. Caitlin's going to bring up that promo code for you. Okay. You can actually use your phone right now and scan that. And then when it asks for the promo, just type in the word elite, all capital.
Yeah, let me do that for you guys real quick, because some people get a little confused where that screen is. You'll go to theelitetrade.com. You're going to need to log in first. So make sure you put your email address in, your password. Make sure you say that you're not a robot, log in, and then click on products. It's going to be our main one here, Mastering the Charts, formerly Training the Eyes. And then once you click on the Join Now for $14.95 gold button, that's where it's going to ask you for the promo code. So former students, Mastering the Charts, Training the Eyes, the code is going to be ELITE. So once you type that in, click the Submit button, and that's going to give you the $500 discount off the $14.95.
That's huge.
Yeah. So take advantage of that for this time. Again, the value that you guys are getting with all the follow-up courses. We haven't done that before, but just looking to give you guys, you know, as much value and time with us as possible. All right, if there's nothing else, thank you guys so much for coming. And yeah, as Jeff mentioned, if there's anyone else that you know or friends that might be interested in this, we do have, we're going to be doing another showcase on Thursday. Tell them to come over and check us out for that session as well. Same time, 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. Eastern time.
Have a great evening, everybody.
Bye, everyone. Have a great evening. Bye-bye.